What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
OD
Podcast.
Podcast. Period. All right.
Oh.
Okay, so
The remix. Sorry.
what you been up to this week, Draco?
What have I done? What's today? Tuesday?
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. What did I do this weekend? I didn't really do much. I was chilling. I have a busy upcoming weekend. I have to work, but I just been chilling, trying to get my life together.
Same. Can you believe 5 days into my new house ownership, I had a roof leak?
What?
Yes, I actually sent you a picture of it, but you ain't reply because I figured you ain't see it. But yes, my roof was leaking, and this was immediately after a heavy rain. But thank God it was fixed.
You know what it is? I need to unpin all conversations because the problem is that the notification doesn't show up on my phone.
Oh,
So when I
really?
click my text messages, my brain doesn't go, oh, look up at those texts. It just whatever is at the top of the list. So
Two things.
unless I'm thinking to go text that person, that's
You
when I
don't
see it.
see it. I think I tried that pin text message thing one time. I ain't like how it looked, so I just went back to normal. And two things, your audio sounds very clear. Are you doing something different? I don't even see the microphone.
Well, I'm in my room, so I'm not by the. My room is very like soundproof, I guess. So that's probably why.
Yeah, it sound like you in a closet or so. It sound good though. I'm like, dang, I don't even see the microphone. I got it. I
It's
can
right.
kiss
It's on
my.
the side. It's on the
Okay,
side right here. It's
he
close.
did that, pool. But no,
Okay.
it's cool. But yeah, I had a leak in my roof, y'all. So basically, I was just in Hazel room, minding my business. Look up, and I'm like, what's that? So I called the roof guy, and it was just like a little hole in one of the panels of my roof. And the thing is, y'all, my house not even 2 years old. So what's the issue? And then,
Oh, I
when you
didn't know it
buy,
was that new.
so yeah, it's very new. The previous owners barely lived here. They don't even live. They moved out of Georgia before even selling the house. Yeah, because their
Man.
parents, they had something going on with their parents or something like that. But so apparently, this is what the guy told me. He said it's not uncommon with new builds for panels to have like little bitty holes. It was literally a hole that was smaller than like a pencil. Like if you stabbed it with a pencil, it's smaller than
Um.
that. So the leak wasn't even bad, but it rained so heavy for like 4 days that it started to come through. So I definitely panicked because I'm like the roof new. I just never had to pay for a roof before. So
Yeah.
I got humbled real quick. But yeah, so all
Was
is
it
well.
expensive for that hole?
No, $150.
Okay.
And
Okay.
honestly, I probably could have did it for $4 if I wasn't scared to fall off the roof and become Santa Claus. So he took care of that, and so now I'm just waiting for the spot to dry up because right now it looked like it was wet. It's not real big, and I can paint over it, but I don't want to. I just want it to dry up and leave me alone. But yeah, y'all. So you buy a house, you definitely own everything. So that's why I was happy to get a new house because I'm like everything is under warranty still. Everything
Oh,
else for the
good.
most
Okay.
part. Now the roof, something like that probably wouldn't be considered under warranty. It'd be tricky,
What
to
about
prove.
plumbing? That's always my fear. I never think about the roof, even though that's very important. And then, especially you living in Georgia, them trees and stuff.
Yeah, well, thankfully my subdivision they had to clear trees to build it, so it's not really. It's like
Okay.
little like trees they planted. But plumbing, I actually had a plumbing issue at my rental, but it wasn't because of a system issue. It was like I genuinely don't know what the freak the previous occupants were doing. It was like tissue stuffed in the drains. Like
Mm.
literally bad. They had to use like some. I had to pay like $900 to get it like cleared out, and it sucks because I didn't live in a house until like my tenants moved right in well, not right after I bought it. It was nobody lived in it for a couple months, but I wasn't spending enough time there to have to like if I wash my hands in the sink, the water would go down. But these people are washing dishes, like really doing stuff, and it
Yeah.
was so now that anyway I had that problem, but yeah, I don't think that's nothing that anybody could have prevented. I genuinely don't know why or how that happened. There's no logical reason.
What's so crazy is that when I lived in that house in Hateville,
Hmm.
um, I was using flushable wipes, And the problem was that house was so old. They had, I think that house was built in like 1950 or 60. It was an old house, and they never changed the plumbing system. And
Oh,
so,
so they had a septic tank?
yeah, and it was made out of fucking
Mm.
copper.
I don't know what that means.
So apparently, they haven't seen a copper plumbing system in like 30 plus years.
I
So
believe it.
I
I'm
was
always
flushing.
afraid of anything older than the 70s. 70s is the absolute oldest I'll go, and I don't even
Yeah,
prefer that. But my rental was
I
built in
feel
the
like it
70s.
was probably around that time, but the septic tank was bad, and so I would use flushable wipes like I always do, and it flooded the yard. So they had to come and dig
Jesus.
up the whole plumbing system in the front yard and put in a whole new one. It was insane.
So, believe it or not, the term flushable wipes is an oxymoron. It really just means you can flush it without backing up your toilet, but you're not supposed to flush them because they don't break down like toilet tissue do. It actually creates plumbing issues for the city when people flush wet wipes. I remember when the pandemic first hit, I think it was New York that I was reading about. Their sewage system had got backed up with wet wipes because so many people were at home flushing their toilets and using wet wipes because tissue was sold out.
Hmm.
So I just throw it in the trash can.
I flushed mine. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, if you decide to own a home, think
I,
about
I'm
that.
I'm definitely going to think about that, but I'm gonna have to come up with something else.
No, when I learned that, I immediately stopped because that
So what I'm
plumbing
supposed
junk.
to do? Dip the tissue roll in like some water and just.
No, you can still use a wet wipe, but you just dispose it in the trash can instead of flushing it.
So I need to treat it as if it's a tampon.
There you go, because you don't flush those either. There you go. Look at there. Yeah, but yeah,
No, it be so
I didn't
funny
always
when I
know that.
use like gender neutral bathrooms and they have like the little plastic things.
Bags.
Yeah, them little bags. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, you know what's funny about those? Anytime I've seen that in a bathroom, the bags always be like it just don't be I don't know anybody's actually successfully used one of them little bags.
oh,
And
that's crazy.
yeah, cuz the way they be well in my experience anytime I've seen them in a bathroom, they be like deep down in a little pocket and sometimes you might get a little residue on your hands. Sorry to the people listening, but sometimes it happens, when you're doing
Baby,
that.
we
But
women over here, we know what's going on.
so I just wrap mine up in tissue and then throw it in the trash can.
Yeah, I think that's what.
And it's easy on the eyes. You don't want nobody coming to your house and then your little like my bathroom trash can is just a little pail. It don't have a lid.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that.
But let's change the
Yeah,
topic. I just finished my
yeah,
little
we get too
movement.
far. That's why I'm like, oh, girl. I'm out.
So other than that, all has been well, man. I'm pretty much done packing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start planning my functions. For
Okay.
people to come out. I'm gonna have a Taco Tuesday. I might have a little pizza party. I'm having different groups. So I'm gonna do my cousins. I'm gonna do like 3 of my group chats, and then I'm gonna do my old neighbors and my old spot. Let me tell you something. I don't know why y'all don't believe me. People think that I'm not gonna invite them to my house because I don't like people in my house. Every time I say I'm gonna have some at my house, people think I'm lying. And like 4 people now don't been like, Alicia, no, you not. I'm like, bro, I like people coming over. I just want certain circumstances for that to happen. I don't want just people popping up in my house, but I like functions at
Yeah.
my house.
See, the thing is, I think as I'm getting older, I'm being more receptive to it because it wasn't the fact that I didn't. Because I remember in my first apartment, I love to have people over there. Like I would have barbecues at my house, everything. But things start to come up missing. People start to wear my clothes and stuff and not return them.
Oh,
Things will
see.
break. And see, that just kind of like pushed me away because I think that the reason why I don't like people at my house is because of the situation that happened when I went to Barter. Because my roommates from Barter, first of all, they were dirty gal.
Shout out to Barter. I don't owe y'all a single penny.
And that's on mamas.
Well, I don't even think I told that story on a podcast on what happened, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you tell your story. I'm gonna share my
But
water story.
but no, my roommates from college were well one you know what's so crazy? One of my roommates, the first one, Thomas, I used to love Thomas. Rest in peace, Thomas. He passed a few years ago, but
Oh yeah,
I used to love
Mr.
Thomas.
Lotion.
But my other roommates, well, Dash, I like Dash too. Let me not put Dash in there. But the other ones, I'm not gonna say their names, but they
Mm.
were the roommates from fucking hell.
It's still smoke about them.
It's still smoke to this day. It's still smoke. It's still smoke. Shout out to graduation. Yeah, 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 that bitch. Yeah.
Oh my god, please trigger it. Yeah, you know what though? I will say that one of the main reasons why I didn't like people, I don't like my personal space being accessible by the main area of the house. That's why I never wanted a ranch style house or a flat. I always wanted something with an upstairs, downstairs so that my
You can
room, my
separate the
bathroom,
two.
just yeah, I just don't want people to be, and that's, I don't really have, I don't think I have any people in my life that I can't trust around my personal stuff, but it's just a simple thing. It's just, just be in the living room. You shouldn't be doing nothing else. Cause now if something do go down, now I gotta be checking y'all pockets and can't nobody leave till I find my remote.
Yeah, girl. I moved out that first apartment. My friends was telling me how they used to do drugs in my bathroom.
That's
How
so
they how
disrespectful.
one of my friends had sex with somebody in there while I was there in the middle of the day. Like it would be all type of shit going on, and I'm just like, I need to pay more attention to what's going around me because I'm too laxed. Like I'm just so
Yeah, oh
comfortable.
no. We checking IDs and we charging a cover in my house.
and then at the time, like I moved into the apartment with my at the time boyfriend,
Mhm.
so that was also another reason why I wasn't really caring what's going on because it's two people that live
You
here.
thinking, yeah, this y'all home. You obviously
So
people, you think people are vetting their guests. Yeah, let me tell you something. People though, people do weird stuff. People that you think are so cool and so kind. That's why traveling with folks and living with folks is the ultimate test.
the
But let
thing
me
about
tell
it, the thing about it too, like no, I ain't gonna bring it up. I feel like I talk too much shit about drugs. I'm gonna leave drugs alone.
Okay, well, I want to share about my barter story that we can get into the episode. So y'all know me and Draco both went to barter college. Long story short, barter college was a part of a class action lawsuit. I actually talked about it on the show when the lawsuit first got passed. They were part of a lawsuit saying that they were basically fraudulently taking out loans on behalf of the student, which was 1000% true. 1000% happened. And that they were, it just was a lot of, it was a multi-layered lawsuit. And the only reason why they were part of the lawsuit is because the Trump administration dropped the ball on investigating these cases. And so because Trump administration rejected all people's, so there is the federal government has a program called borrower's defense. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Borrower's defense saying that somebody as a borrower, like a student loan borrower, was defrauded by their institution, and this is why. So you're supposed to fill out this application. The federal government will investigate into that issue, and if they feel like you were fraudulently taken advantage of, yada yada yada, they will forgive your student loans. Or there's a process to it. That's not the entire gist of it, but that's just what applied to me. And the Trump administration either did not address people's application within the promised timeline or they rejected people's application without reason. And so they sued. These people who applied sued. And the thing, because they sued, they filed a class action lawsuit. And because of that, every school that was a part of this fraudulent movement they automatically forgave everybody's student loans as like an apology what the Trump administration did. And so it's really crazy because I had actually filed this application before I even knew about a lawsuit. I just knew that there were some practices that I experienced at barter that I thought were not fair. So I was like, let me file this application and see what happens. And that was in 2020, 2021, or something like that. And here we are in 2023. Y'all, let me tell y'all what happened. So, when you buy a house, they basically look at all your debt, all your income, and they determine how much you can afford to get a house. So I had been approved for a set amount, but during that time that I was looking for a house, interest rates went up. And when interest rates go up, it takes away from how much you're able to spend because now your mortgage is going to be much higher this week than it was last week based on those rates. And so when I found my house, I'm not going to lie, y'all, they were about to tell me that it wasn't going to work. They were just like, either you're going to have to give up some more money. Do you have any other income to report? Can you give a bigger down payment? All things I either could not do or did not want to do. And so, literally, the next day, I got an email from the federal government saying that my student loans were forgiven for Barter College. And just like that, they cleared me from my mortgage. Literally, without
damn,
that email, I wouldn't have been able to get my house. That's 1000% true. Like, ain't that crazy though?
that's
Because
insane.
when I first found out about the lawsuit, they told me that because of the time frame that I applied for the borrower's defense, I wouldn't get an answer until 2025. So I wasn't expecting that no
No
time
time
soon.
soon. Yeah,
So my
it's like
student
something you
loans
just
went
forgot
from
about.
Yes, exactly. So my student loans went from $54,000 to $19,000. So if this lawsuit against Biden is lifted by the Supreme Court, I won't owe a single dime. But even if I do owe, I don't really care because I never wanted to pay barter, and I get a check for all the payments I made since 2009 or whatever year I finished. No, actually, my student loan payments didn't start until 2014, but I get a refund of all the payments I made that went towards barter college. But I'm so grateful because I wouldn't have been able to get my
Damn. And you
house.
finna get all that money back.
Yeah, and I paid thousands of dollars. I was paying all my student loans on time.
I know. I literally remember, like, I want to say when you first started paying it back, and that
Yeah,
was like
I was like, "No,
years
my credit is
ago.
not gonna be bad." I was like, I do not want my credit
Yeah,
jacked up.
this is when you
So
was at Clayton State.
yep,
I
yep.
feel like,
Because
yeah,
because the type of loans that Barter took out, the interest started that day. It was
yeah.
terrible, y'all. So, anyways, I just want to let y'all know that God is real, child. Because I was literally gonna get denied for my house, and I was gonna be mad, pissed off, because I had already been through the process 4 times trying to put in an offer, kept getting outbid, and I finally get my offer accepted, and then now I can't get it because of some student loans.
Mm.
So, anyway, thank God, hallelujah. All right, so let's get
Woo!
to this week's episode.
Well,
Um, Let's talk about shop talk. Oh, let's get to the black business of the week. Okay, y'all. So I was telling Draco before we started recording, I don't think I made this business a black business of the week. And if I did, listen, that's how much I like the service they offer. Okay, so
okay.
I went to a baby shower for my girl Alex, who has now had her baby, and she had a
Congrats,
cake.
Alex.
Yes, she had a cake at her baby shower. It was red velvet. First of all, y'all know red velvet. People try to hate on red velvet saying it's just chocolate cake, yada yada yada. I don't doubt that it has cocoa, but it's not the same thing as red velvet. I mean, it's not the same as chocolate. That's a fact. So anyway, she had a lot of times when people have those really pretty, fancy looking cakes, the cake itself don't be tasting good. I'm just here to tell y'all, it just be cute to look at, but it don't always be good to taste. So y'all, not only did this cake look good, but it tasted so god darn good that I had to ask this girl who made her cake, and I don't even have a need for a cake to be made. So she sent me the Instagram page, and the business is called Persnickety Sweets Georgia. And I'm gonna spell it out for y'all. Actually, no, I'm not gonna spell it out for you. I'm gonna put the information in the episode notes. But she's black, she's local, she makes cakes. She does not do 3D fondant toppers, but she does do custom cakes and sweets, $125 minimum. 4 to 6 week notice suggested. And let me tell you something. That cake was so good. I was mad I didn't get more than one piece. You know, the baby shower, you gotta have finger food. I wanted foot food because they somebody put their foot
Okay.
in that cake.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what? Shout out to her. You know what's so crazy? I've been having some really, really good desserts, and that is actually not on my bingo board. I'm not supposed to be having all that, but
I'm trying to stop.
for my birthday, I got 2 cakes, and they were amazing. They were.
Mm.
They
Oh, you
both.
got two cakes. Come on now.
Yeah,
You think you was on my super sweet 16 or something?
I was on my super sweet 34 boo.
Period. Sweet 34.
Okay, no,
What
okay,
kind of cakes
hello.
was it?
You said what kind?
Yeah, what was the flavor?
I don't know where they got it from. One of them was just a regular like vanilla cake with the cream cheese icing, and then the other one was a marble cake, and they were
Oh, come
amazing.
on, Marble. Like my flows.
They was amazing. One of the cakes said grown because people
Ah!
kept asking me how old I am. I said grown, so
You
somebody
know
put
that one
grown.
girl copied off us. The girl, remember the girl? He was like, "How old are you?" She was like, "Grown." The girl with the
Grown.
pretty eyes. But
Oh
we
yeah,
made it
she
up. No,
actually
actually, Ariana made it up.
my niece exactly grown. Y'all grown. Y'all
So,
is so grown.
I'm not much of a baker, but I do want to be good at like making like certain things. I can make a good banana bread, but it's such a simple thing. I want to be able to make cakes. And I've been on Cake Talk for a while now, learning how to like make tiered cakes and crumb coating and all that. I think I can really do it if I put my mind to it, but I don't want to buy the supplies because last time I bought supplies for a new craft, it was to do my own nails, and that didn't end well. And I spent a couple $100 on stuff that ended up giving away. So I'm gonna just go to Persnickety Sweets.
Um, yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to plug up my charger, but I have to move the mic in. Like I don't have to unplug it. I just gotta move it, so I may sound a little funny. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. Well, oh, okay, I got you.
Oh no, you keep going. I can hear you.
Ah, Draco ain't got no clothes, y'all. What did I? Jesus Christ! Let me put my head down.
I'm sorry. I forgot I ain't had no pants
Oh
on.
my God, he got on a thong.
Why would you lie? I literally okay.
Yeah,
I'm
fix it. Mm-mm. Man, I cannot wait to this Beyonce concert. I'm sick and tired of seeing these videos, and I gotta wait 300 months.
exactly. I feel like I'm still be shocked because I see a new part every day that I ain't never seen.
Yeah, well,
But
thank
I
you. My
feel like
album,
unless you've been to a Beyonce concert before, am I too loud?
it's just making like a weird noise, like a dragging noise, I guess.
I feel like if you've never been to a Beyonce concert, you don't understand. Even if you see the whole thing on Instagram, you're still gonna be shook to see that.
Well, I went to the On the Run tour, and I feel like it wasn't like
You
it
went to
was.
the one with Jay Z. What that was to me, and it's no shade. Their staging for that was good, and I feel like it was very black because that theme of that album to me was very black, like 444 and
Uh-huh.
Lemonade, and then they
Oh,
came
for four
together
went
for.
out, yeah. Lemon. Oh, I was On the Run one.
Okay. I went to two. I went to two. The
Ooh.
first one, yeah, was bland.
Yeah, and that's no shade, but I didn't have a good experience at that show in general. It wasn't Beyonce fault. Well, maybe it was, but have you seen these ATL boot girls?
Yeah,
I think that's so funny and so bold. One thing about Atlanta, man, you can't put nothing past nobody who wants some money. I swear to you.
yeah, for
From
real.
selling turtles to the water boys to boot removals. It's really crazy to braces. I mean, Jesus Christ. I ain't even mad at it. And turns out it's not even illegal to remove the boot. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, because to me, it's done. The concept of I get it though, but I think that people be getting too boot happy sometimes. 'Cause it's like, girl, for what? Why'd you put a boot in that
Let me tell
car?
you something. The place I go to get my wax, it's where King Crab at.
Yeah.
Oh, they be bootlegging out there. That
Oh my
I be
god.
seeing a boot man run across that parking deck like he done lost some money on the parking lot somewhere. The way he be
Yeah.
creeping across, I'm like,
Do
this is
they get
actually
paid
sad.
per person, or like like
Yeah,
how
I
does it
guess they
work?
get I guess if you have a private company, you get to pocket the boot money. So it makes me wonder if the boot people even work for the parking deck. I mean, I guess they have to because that's trespassing otherwise.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, and the thing about it is like, how do you even okay, for example, where King Crab is and that parking deck, it's so many businesses connected to the deck. How would you even know? It's not timed. You know what I'm saying? So how would
Yeah.
you even know? I think the only few times I've seen it kind of make sense is if people just park in a random spot thinking they're gonna run in and out. Child, you don't go in there and pee. You're gonna come back and you're gonna pee again. God darn boot on your car.
Knock on wood, I've never gotten a boot, and I've
Really? I'm
mm-mm.
two in that thing. And it sucks
You got a
because
boot
both
before?
times it was genuinely not the part, it wasn't clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Want
I've
my
never
money
gotten a
back.
boot. Let me knock on wood, and I've never gotten like told. I've gotten told. I'm lying. I got told. Not from parking somewhere though. Like not like me coming outside and my car is gone, but I've definitely gotten told by getting pulled over.
Oh,
So,
now actually, I mean, I've gotten told, but only because my car wouldn't drive.
oh yeah, it's something like that,
I
But
ain't never seen your hair down like that. You don't never wear it down. You look like Waka
bec-
Flocka.
because yeah, I'm weird. My hair was an ugly length for the longest, so now I feel comfortable enough to wear it down. But the problem is that I don't look comfortable because I be having to like
Yeah, that's
keep
what a lot of dudes with
touching.
dreads say. They like, hey, get to a point where it's in the way. Welcome to being me with
It's
my braids.
hot. It be hot
Yeah.
when it's hot outside. Please get off my face, and I'll be having like all type of moisturizers and
Aw.
conditioners. You know.
Aw. I don't really have a lot for shop talk. I did see the trailer for the new color purple, and people keep saying it's not a remake, it's just a version of the Broadway musical. Either way, I okay. I don't want to sound like an old head or a hater, but I don't love all the remakes, just like I don't love all the samples. I think for me, it's hard to I will say this. I never saw the original Roots, but I did see the remake, the one that had Ti in it, and it was really good. But I think the only reason why I didn't mind it is because I never saw the original Roots, so I have an emotional attachment to the color purple. Especially rewatching it as an adult, it's like, how was I even looking at this as a kid? How did
Yeah,
I even
and
know
it's
what was
so
going on?
long. It's so long.
It is long, but it's really
Um,
good. But I think what makes me little about this new one, I don't like all the like casting of super celebrities. Like I just, it just seems I don't know.
they
And I'm not
did
trying
it
to
in
sound like
the
a
first
hater.
one though. You had Danny Glover. You had Oprah. You had
Actors.
yeah. But see,
Okay, we
I
talking about
think this
her,
one is more
Hallie, Fantasia.
because it's a musical.
Right, and that part I didn't know because in the trailer, it's not really the only thing I knew was, what you call him singing. What was her name? I forgot. But I didn't know the
Doug
movie
Avery.
was a musical. Yeah, Suge Avery. So I thought it was just a remake of the movie because a lot of the scenes was just like the original. And I'm sure they're doing a phenomenal job, but I guess I just feel like an old person set in their ways. I'm like, don't mess with the original. But I really don't like all these remakes. It's like,
No,
who's the
I
target
feel it.
audience when they do that?
I feel it, but like I'm 50-50 with the remakes. I feel the same. Everything doesn't need to be remade. Like I remember I was talking to
Coil Ray,
somebody. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. But
Saweetie.
it's like everything doesn't need to be remade. But I'm not mad at all the remakes. Like that, like White Man Can't Jump. I was like, okay,
I
whatever.
haven't seen it and I heard it was good.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of it. I just, but whatever. Like it's, it's a remake. I think that what got me like that is because I realized that a lot of the songs that we love, like the '90s R&B songs, I was like, oh, the R&B ain't the same no more. Those are literally samples.
No, I do know that. I
A
do
lot of
remember,
them, and I didn't even know that. Like a lot, I was like, damn, this is where that came from. Like a lot of the songs, Mary J.
this
Blige,
the thing,
pretty,
I don't have a problem with a sample, but it's like all your songs are samples. Like it's I think because I even think when I listen back, this is what I used to do growing. I'm sure we all used to do this, but I used to always read the little booklet that came with CDs, and I would look at the credits and see the samples.
yeah,
And sometimes the samples would be very minor or an interpolation. It wouldn't be straight
interpolation,
up
yeah.
sounding like the old song. So and obviously in a lot of cases it did, but I just think that the ones that we hearing lately, it's just like I don't know, and that's why I'm saying maybe I'm just being an old person because maybe it was just as many. But there's quite a few people who all their songs or a majority of their songs have been samples, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I feel that, and that is frustrating, especially when a song is not good. Now, if the song is good, I ain't gonna. Now, what I do like about the new generation is that they get to actually make these remakes and have the actual artist on the song. Now, I
Oh
know
yeah, I like when
I don't.
Summer Walker did that with Usher. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, and he did it with City Girls too. They did they remade it. But what I love,
I had to grow on that one. I can't lie.
I don't want to give her no shine, but Tory Lanez, fire.
I
That
mean, yeah. Now I'm not gonna be no hater. Tory Lane's music is actually fire. I
and that was
never was a
fire that
fan of him like that, but I do think his music was fire. And he did a lot of samples too, but I also didn't like that either. So.
he did the chicks tapes, and he had all of the people who were on that was his thing. If he used your song, he put you on the song. Like he redid Ludacris, he got Ludacris on the song. He did this person. And I thought that was cool because
But
that was like his thing. But it
yeah.
worked because the music was actually good to me. Like I like
I
Tory Lanez
also
music.
think that a project like Chicks Tape is not the same as All Your Sons Being. I feel like that was the theme of that project, kind of like how mixtapes
Yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah.
But I don't know, and I don't mean to just be like keep pointing out Coil Ray and Sweetie, but it's especially Coil Ray's.
It's
It's
because
just
the music is not that good. Like I think that
that's what it is too. It's not a good remake, and I think that and I don't know. I'm assuming I feel like they're betting on people feeling liking the song because of the nostalgia of the song they sampled.
yeah. Like the music, the song has to be good in
Yeah.
order for people to like it. Like, okay, yeah, we did like this song before, but like even with, I feel like I know people don't like her like that, but I feel like even with this song with Nicki Minaj, the Ruby Red Sleeves, people like it because we love that Luma D song, but it actually is a good song. Like she actually is rapping good on the song. It's not no like cheesy,
Yeah, about to catch
like
another
petty.
flight.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
about to
know.
make him wanna bite.
You
Oh,
know,
she never mind. All right, I don't want to sound like a hater.
yeah, no.
Okay, so anyway, let's move into today's episode topic. So I feel like we might have touched on this a couple times before, but do you remember growing up when people used to always say like, "Oh, you got to find yourself. You got to get to know who
Yeah.
you are." And when you're young, you don't really know what that means, right? You just be like, "I know who I am. I'm smart. I'm funny. I'm cute." but
Right.
but like when you get older, I remember specifically. Maybe I think I might have been 28. I think that's the moment I think I had that feeling of like finding myself, and it came from just like get having like awareness of like life experiences and associating it to what I like, who I am in that moment. And I was just curious to know if you feel like you've ever had that moment, or what do you think it means to find yourself?
Let me tell you something. I feel like I've been finding myself since a birth. Um, I always I'm and I always just change stuff that I like. Like I'm everything I like is always changing. I get bored with stuff really quickly. And then it's also some things that I just been doing for years or how, whatever. I consider that finding myself because I'm literally trying out new things all the time. I don't know what I like until I try it. And I used to be very closed off. And I think it was just because of how we grew up. Like in the hood, we're taught that this is how, like it's almost like a manual. When you do things, you're supposed to do it this way. You talk to people this way. You walk this way. You're supposed to dress this way. You're supposed to go and be this person. And then, like, as you get older, you get curious. Like me, I was a person that lived on MTV. I didn't really watch cartoons at fourth grade. I was on MTV and VH1, and I'm getting exposed to. This sounds so crazy, but I'm getting exposed to the way white people do things because I don't know white people. I don't know any white people at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing different type of people, like stuff like the Real World, the little challenge shows, even music videos, and I'm just like, oh wow, like there's a life outside of Campbellton Road, and I knew that, but I didn't know exactly what it gave.
Or
And
how to get there. Cause I
yeah,
know I'm like, well, what that's it?
and so I feel like it almost caused like an identity crisis for me because it's like I'm not in these spaces. I'm not in these spaces where like this stuff I can try this stuff out and it'll be comfortable. I'm in the hood. If I'm trying to dress like this or change the way that I do this, I'm gonna get picked at, probably jump, beat up, all because I'm different from everybody. So almost it's like an identity crisis because it's like um I wasn't able to really just be who I wanted to be until I'm an adult. I'm grown. And even then, it took a minute to like warm up to just be who I am and who I want to be. So in this stage, I do still feel like I'm finding myself.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like I'm never gonna actually feel. I ain't gonna say never, but I feel like that's something that's always gonna change because you're getting older and you're learning more and your experiences be different.
yeah, and I agree with you. And I also think that part of it is because our brain isn't even fully developed until our late 20s. So
Yeah,
it's just always, whenever I see like teens today being so harsh on themselves or being so insecure because of things they see on social media, and I be wanting to say, like, none of this stuff is going to matter in a couple years. But that sounds good to somebody like me who's gotten past that stage of high school, middle school comparison, and all that. But when you in it and you live in a world where, like I know kids, preteens who literally talk about like lip fillers and needing to lose
right.
weight. And it's like, and not that that's necessarily finding yourself, but I guess like when you get older, you start to find confidence in things that you might have been insecure about before. And maybe you don't, not everybody about everything, but I just think that you start to appreciate certain things about yourself. Like I was just telling somebody today, child, when I look at pictures of when I thought I needed to lose weight, Jesus Christ.
I was skinny
Oh my
and
God.
and just wasn't taking it. Like I
And
was.
now I'm 3 times that. God help me, Lord.
I
But,
am. I'm feeling that.
but I think that some, like, even for myself now, I think that there's an additional level of confidence I've gotten over the years by just being an adult, like, having life experiences, tying them back to certain things. I think setting boundaries is a process of finding yourself. Like, once you
Yeah.
identify things that you like or prefer, you just stand on that, be firm in it. But just jumping around doing stuff, it's really hard to get to know, like, who you are and what you care about. And I think that sometimes people just live a life of trying to please others because they don't really know. They either don't know who they are or they're not like secure with who they are. But I don't know. I just have that thought to myself often because I feel like I am so. It's crazy the things that I'm more aware of now, just as a result of just spending time by myself, doing things by myself. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I actually prefer this over that, or I think this is cool, or whatever the case is. But
Yesterday I had a conversation. So last night I went to um what I thought was a new artist. There's an artist named IDK who I've never heard of. But
literally just saw he did an interview with Angela Yee. Never heard of him though.
yeah, and so I Googled him today. I went to his birthday party last night. Let me just say, that was one of the most pleasant experiences meeting somebody for the first time. He was so accommodating and it was his fucking birthday. He was
Oh
so
wow.
accommodating, he was so nice. And people aren't like that out here because it's an ego city. This is my party. This is da da da, It
Oh,
was
like
he was
Atlanta?
yeah,
Jesus
it was
Christ.
so cool. It was so cool. And Dave Chappelle was there. Dave Chappelle like was on stage. It was very crazy. Um but I said that to say that I had a conversation with somebody at that party, and they were saying how like we were just talking about where we moved from. Of course, everybody in LA is not from here. So she was like, "Yeah, I moved to DC. I moved here from DC, but see, LA is cool and you get to find yourself, but you still have people that relate to you in some way." She was like, "What you have to do is," she said, "I literally traveled Europe for 6 months. I lived in Europe for 6 months." She said, "That's how I found myself because I don't have
Mm.
anybody to really connect to out there, like, on a level that's gonna understand me. Like, yeah, you'll probably have some American people, but these people grew up completely different. And so you're experiencing these things. You have to literally find yourself, like, figure out what you want, what you really like, what you wanna do with your life, how you wanna look, how it's a lot."
That reminds me, because the same era that I felt like I got to know myself is when I started traveling alone. Like you really get to observe, because if you try, and there's nothing wrong with traveling with others, but
Yes.
with that it comes with like being considerate for others, doing things that they want to do or the collective wants to do. But when you
Yeah.
can really have those moments, like sometimes people watching is a part of it. It's like, oh, okay, that's what people do over there. I don't think I
Mhm.
like that, or there's a
Yeah.
reason why I don't care about that. But that's actually a good point. I think that, man, travel does so much for you mentally. And I guess it's just the change of scenery. But honey, I can go to darn Rome, Georgia, and and feel like I'm in a new world. Like it's just something about it. It's
Yeah,
just
I'm the same way. Like once I started traveling, even for work, just me experiencing these things and just seeing how people live. Like I pay attention to stuff like that. When I go to different countries, I see how they live. I see how they operate. Like I remember when I was in Helsinki, I think, and people were like riding their bikes. And in America, when we ride our bike and we in a neighborhood, we lock it up or bring it in the house.
got to.
They threw their bike on the porch. No
Ooh,
locks, no nothing. The bike ain't being
must be
touched.
nice. Must
The
be
bike
nice.
ain't being touched. Even when we because I went with Flo, so she had to perform at a festival. They rode their bikes to the festival. Like everybody. It wasn't like nobody had cars. Everybody had bikes. So you would see like hundreds of people riding their bikes and they just throwing it in the field with nothing attached to it. And they just come back
I
and get
want to
in
live in a
the bike.
world like that. And that's why America gets so much slander. Cause it's like, yes, this might be the land of the quote unquote free, but even
It
then
come
it's
with a
like,
lot. It come with a lot,
yeah, but seriously, what, and this is not to sound like anti patriot, but what does that even mean? The
child.
land of the free.
Because I guess I don't know.
I never understood. I mean, if anybody out there cares to educate me, I genuinely don't know what that means. I don't. I mean, I know it's not talking about slavery. They
Yeah,
definitely don't
exactly.
want, immigrants. So like, what is the freedom? Is it the freedom of speech or the freedom to carry? I genuinely don't understand, because when I see certain concepts in different countries, I'm like, wow, that seems very positive. That seems very helpful and very efficient. Even the way like food regulations are. Is it because we are
That's
free to
the
eat
food
chemicals?
regulations and the way they eat is really what got me into like paying attention to what I eat.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even serve certain things. Like even at fast food restaurants, they make it known like, "Hi, if you come to this McDonald's, this is 100% beef. We get our patties from this place. This is clean water to drink." Da da da. I'm like, damn, like America is just really a shit show.
But you know why? It's because of capitalism, for real. For real. I hate to be that person, but like is for example, you can go to a McDonald's in a different country and have much more quality food, but there's nothing stopping them from offering that same thing in America. But obviously, their margins will be a lot more slim because it's going to cost more money to really invest in quality food.
Yeah.
And it sucks because we have this high obesity rate, we have high diabetes, we have high mental health issues. The education can be lagged. The medical services are definitely lack as far as accessibility. But yeah, it is just, obviously I'm very proud to be from America. But even when I went to Kenya and I just see certain things, I'm like, dang, this is lit. Now, obviously, that's a snippet into everyday life. Everybody has their issues. Like, in other countries, they have a really bad pickpocketing issue. But I
Oh
mean,
yes. Oh
you know what
my
I'm saying?
god.
So it's not like it's like perfect,
Yeah,
but
they
I
still have their
do.
problems, but it's just the way they run it and the health policies and stuff like that is just different. Like the food is just a mess. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
I worry one day. Like I don't know if y'all been keeping up with politics right now, but there's something called the U.S. debt ceiling crisis happening. And long story short, if Congress doesn't come up with a solution by June 1st, the U.S. will default on their debts, which has never happened in the history of this country, which can have a huge negative impact on finances, homes, food, the cost of living in general. And this is not something that the president can do. This is Congress. This is the Senate and the House. But yeah, I just thought I would share that with y'all. Just keep your tabs on it because something really bad could happen by June 1st. Like we could all be down bad, and I don't know, really
Yeah.
know what that looks like because it's never happened before. President Biden has proposed a solution, but the Republicans are not. They don't want to sign his deal, even if they truly feel like it's a good idea, because they have an image to uphold. Not to be all spooky yuki on y'all, in the words of Kiki Palmer, but I know a lot of people like to blame the president, but there's not the president really don't have a whole lot of power,
No,
which is why I
seriously.
vote in every election. But that's not me here to push an agenda because I don't like Joe Biden. To be very clear, I'm not a fan of his. I don't dislike him, but I don't. I just don't think that I. I there's a reason why I voted for him, and it wasn't because I thought that he was the best
A good.
possible president.
At least you real, honey.
Just keeping it honest, I was definitely Team Bernie, but people felt like he was too old. But here we are with um, Joe Biden about to run again, and he the age that Bernie Sanders was when he, you know what I'm saying. So I also feel like politicians should be able to retire at age 66, like we do. Anyway, I bring all that up because it's just so many things about life that we don't have a whole lot of control. Like I think I was talking to Desiree the other day, and sometimes I have these moments. This ain't really about finding yourself. This is just kind of like awareness, I guess. But when I'm just living life, I go to the grocery store, I get coffee, and I just realize, like, literally, we have to work. We are just humans working for humans. Like we are all servants. And it's like,
Yeah.
why?
I
Why?
So I remember, I can specifically remember Lil Baby making a post on or making he was in an interview and he said that it was Frontmaster Flex, I think, and he said that you're gonna always have to work. It don't matter who you are because something has to get paid for. You're gonna be running out of money because taxes have to get paid. You have to
Oh
pay this.
yeah, people think you get rich and you can just sit back, but
No, he's like, I'm gonna be working for the rest of my life.
yeah, I think he was on Angel Martinez. I know what you're talking about, but you're right though. But even that, it's like, why? Why do I was born into
By
a
the river.
lifestyle that I did not ask for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I thought
have to. What you said?
I thought you was gonna say I was born by the river.
River. But yeah, it's like I have to work because I have to have a home and I have to get food and I have to pay for electricity. What
Yeah.
the freak kind of scam is this?
Hmm.
It's not fair. But yeah, it's just like, and we're all like there's another human who rings up my grocery. There's another human who, like, I don't know, controls the grass and the roof. It's just like, dang, y'all, we in the matrix. I just
Sorry.
like, dang, is there not anybody that could just live for free? Who said that? Whose idea was this?
No, we here
Yeah,
and we
I
have
don't
to.
mind working. I enjoy it, but the fact that I am trapped by that until I'm 66, when I won't even have the energy to really start to live my life, that's scary. And that's why
Yeah,
I'm still on my mission to retire by 40. So far, so good. I'm darn near debt free. So
yeah. You getting your you getting
shout
your
out to Bar College
you getting
has
your.
been.
Oh my God! Please, okay.
Let me tell you
Please.
something. When I see that interview, I mean that email, baby, I almost put the roof off the building. I ain't lying.
Okay, then you
Anyway, I
went
feel like I'm
manhole.
rambling. Do you have what's on your mind? What you got going on right now?
Um, I'm looking at something in my phone, but I'm thinking about like what am I like in reality? I know I said earlier like you'll never stop finding yourself, but is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I think that's a good thing because while you're learning stuff about yourself, you are still learning new things in general. You're getting new exposures to different things. And I think, because think about it, who you are today is not who you're going to be when you're 75. You're going to be so different. And all that is
Yeah.
because of the person you've evolved to be.
Yeah, I just always encourage people to just try things. I know that some stuff like I've literally gotten so many opportunities and just been exposed to so much stuff just because I got out of my comfort zone and just trying stuff. Even if I know that I'm not into that type of stuff, unless it's something that's harming me, like a drug or something, I'm not trying that. But if it's something like taking a risk of going to a certain type, like say for instance, I know I don't like opera music. But if I know that this is going to be something that if I go to this opera, I'm gonna run into people that could possibly help me get into a certain industry that I'm gonna be in because that's
You
the type
just
of stuff they do.
never
You just never
know.
know. So I'm like, let
You
me just go.
Cause we are not a monolith. I know Charlamagne loves to say that black people are not a monolith. Like there are one thing I love. Something that brings me joy when I meet black people that do something so random, like a scuba diver or something like that. Like I just think stuff like that is really cool because we're not typically exposed to that, and we're definitely not represented in high numbers in that aspect. But I definitely think people should just try things they never thought of before. I never been to an opera either, but I wouldn't turn it down. I went to my first theater play. I guess you could say Broadway play. It wasn't on Broadway though, but it was the cast. When I saw
Yeah,
Hamilton and y'all Hamilton, I'm obsessed, and I saw it
yeah,
5 years ago, and I
yeah. That's how
had
I be. You probably end up
never
liking
seen.
it,
I love it. You get what I'm saying? Y'all know. Don't get me started on Hamilton, baby. That's my middle name. My name is Alicia Hamilton Arnold. I love Hamilton down. I love they dirty draws, and
okay,
I'm
okay,
obsessed. But I had never been to a musical before. But I remember people just being like, "I don't like no musical because Medea." But I went to something on a whole different level, and oh my god, it changed my life. And I always say that I just love it so much. But I agree with you. I think people should try different things, take themselves out to eat, no matter what it is. If even
girl.
if it,
Like I like to do stuff alone because, like you said, it's just no boundaries. Like I don't have to move at somebody else's pace. I
hmm
like to look at stuff. So I take a long time doing things, or like if I'm not into it, I want to go immediately. And I don't want to be in a place where like I'm with somebody and then they just love it. I mean, I ain't gonna try to take the experience from them,
hmm
but I would rather just do some things alone because I know me.
let me tell you something. I
But I
get
said
it.
I was gonna take some surf lessons. They got a black surf club out here, and I've never seen black
Oh,
surfers. So,
see what I'm
oh, they could.
saying? That's really cool. I'm not
I'm
doing
actually
it.
gonna make them my black pins of the week next week.
Okay, don't
They have a
forget.
black surfers club, but yeah, they have free surf lessons. But see, the only reason why that's stopping me because I'm like, first of all, I'm deathly afraid of fish. I've already talked about this plenty of times. But also, the waters out here, I've been seeing too many sharks, dolphins, all type of stuff. It's been too many orca attacks. Leave me
Oh, I
out of
heard
the
the
water.
orcas is on a mission.
And they all are in South California.
I heard the
SoCal, they
orcas been
all in the water.
flipping everything over. Imagine, I ain't listen. I don't want nobody to get hurt, but we not supposed to be in them fish house like that.
At all, period.
That's their living room.
It,
I think surfing is really cool. When I worked at the aquarium, I was inspired to want to become a diver, but you gotta want to be in water to do that. But I think that is really cool, and I wanted to like swim with the whale sharks, but that's never happening. So
I will never do that either. I ain't.
you
Well,
know,
let me not say never. I'll probably get
you
over my
never
fear
know.
one
You
day,
you better
but
with water than me. I think another thing that's really cool to do is like a DIY project. And I don't mean like putting together like an IKEA dresser. I mean like doing something around the house, like maybe build a coffee table. Just little things. It's just so much. And obviously we're no experts on that, but I do think that sometimes people let time pass them by and then they might not you'll do something like, oh, I never thought about that. So it's like getting yourself exposed to certain things like
yeah.
hiking or jogging, going to bingo or karaoke or trivia. Stuff like that is actually fun.
Oh yeah, I just started. So tonight, okay, so I guess I can be open with it. The person that I'm dating right now, we're very opposite, like total opposite. I like to sit in the house. I like to watch movies. I like to cook. I like
Me
to chill.
too.
I do go out and stuff like that every now and again, but he is the total opposite. Like he's from California, so that's the culture out here to go to kickbacks and go to house parties and go out, and he's always trying to do that. And he hates that I'm not that person, but I have, I'm like maybe I should just start going with you instead of just judging you because I'd be like, you be staying out this late and da 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 da. But I'm
Boy,
like,
I'll
he's
be
like,
sleeping. Not everybody mad at me. I told
and
you I
so
ate
he
them out.
like, yeah, just come with me. So tonight we're going to some sort of like panel, and then we have another thing that we have on the agenda. It's just things that I normally wouldn't do. Like there's a karaoke night. I was going to karaoke night at Soul House. Like those are things that I would never do in Atlanta. And this is
Yeah,
like a group setting of people that
karaoke
I
be
don't know.
fun.
Yeah, but see, the thing about karaoke, I had to make it fun because the one that went to a Soul House, it was cool. But see, these people out here, they be doing like Bon Jovi and stuff like that. So it be just
Oh,
like very just down. Like, and I had to get up there and do Missy
I'm trying
Elliott.
to do
Turn
Nuck if you
up.
buck. Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. I
At
had to.
least Sweet Caroline, that's the white people Nuck if you buck.
I had to warm them up. I'm like, let me do Missy before I do something. Missy's turn, and she ain't gonna do too
They're
much.
like,
But
wow, where's he from? Mars?
you're like, oh, this is lit. Oh, I had free shots the rest of the night.
Wow, that's crazy. But you know what? Hey, maybe you just exposed them to something they didn't even think about. That's so crazy though, how we all from the same country. And that's why it's interesting when people talk about Americans not having passports, that, obviously I do think everyone should have a passport, but I don't think they realize how every state is like its own country for real. I
Yeah.
mean, they literally be having different laws.
Yeah, like, and it's so different because in Atlanta, I would try to have stuff like game nights and stuff like that, but I will always run into the type of people that's like, oh, I go to
Now
game nights,
that's
but I'm just
so
going
because
to
I'm good
drink.
for a game night. That's
Me
my
too.
one
Like, I
too.
love Uno and Monopoly.
With some crab legs, which I won't be having crab legs in my house, messing up my sofa.
Listen, I don't even fry food in mine. So
Period.
you
Ooh, I
think you
don't
bringing
blame
a
you. I got a
crab
lot of
leg in?
windows though.
I don't give a f if it was a window above the stove. I'm not frying no food in here. I just have PTSD from elementary school and going to school and just smelling people who mama had. You could be like, damn, your mama cooked fried chicken last night, didn't she? And you could
Oh,
smell it
that
in their
chicken smell
fucking
is
coat.
actually traumatizing. I smell it right now. All right.
You could smell it in their coat.
Ugh.
I don't like
What's
that.
worse, chicken smell, fried chicken, or cigarettes? They neck and
Cigarettes for
neck.
sure.
They turkey neck
Because
and neck.
just think of a wet cigarette smell.
Ugh. I'm about to throw up. Okay, let's
Yeah.
let's move on. All right, so this week, I am hoping to be done. I don't like putting holes in my wall, but I gotta hang up some stuff. But I got some command strip hooks, nails that I plan to use. And I also
And you
got
sound very iffy about it the way you looking.
you
Like,
know what? Because I sometimes command strips can pull the paint off your wall, so I
mm,
might as well have put a hole.
yeah. And
But
it's not hard to plug up a hole.
it's not, but one thing about all right, let me explain. My second rental property, I gotta repaint some spots, and sometimes when you repaint over a spot, the paint don't match because it sat for so long on the wall. And
Got it.
so yeah, and then the only way to fix it is to repaint the whole wall, which is not happening. So anyway, this is like first world problems, to be honest with you. But I have been thinking about like, I don't know. I'm overreacting. Anyways, let's wrap this thing up. I'm getting a little drowsy. It just hit me while I was trying to think about
You
it just
like,
hit me
oh my
up.
God. Oh God. Okay,
I'm
yeah.
just yeah, sorry. I had a really good day at work. Got a lot knocked out, and I feel like I deserve to go ahead and go to bed. So I'm gonna holler at
I'm screaming. Okay.
y'all.
Yeah, I am about. I already showered. My hair is wet. That's why I'm wearing it down because I'm trying to let it dry. So I am. I have a really big shoot on Friday, so I'm trying to redo my kit. So I am going to go on Amazon and press order because I did put a lot of stuff in my car. I just want to make sure that I don't need to take nothing out, add nothing in, and then I'm gonna redo my kit tomorrow on Thursday. And yeah, I want my
There you
stuff to
go.
look professional. I went to a shoot last week for a commercial, and I ended up getting a union voucher because I'm not union, and that shoot was a union. So the other artist, she brought an assistant, and they both were union, obviously. So I had to work with them, and I think that I would get compliments from my clients and just like other makeup artists of how neat my kit is and how I condensed it. But when I tell you, them people made my kit look filthy.
Really? Oh, not you got
Like
some
I was like,
competition.
oh my God, this is not good at all. Like I was so embarrassed to even bring my
Really?
bag out. So I'm like, you know what?
Was it a
I
type of
really
bag?
we had the same bags.
What no? I
So
can't
right
imagine.
so at the moment, most makeup artists are using those like the big open things with the little compartments that you can kind of customize yourself.
Oh yeah.
And so everybody's using that because of how you can just open it, work out your bag, and close it. So
Mhm.
we had the same bags with the way they had it. They labeled every single thing. They had like a thing for like sterile things, and then this one was dirty.
You
Like it
seen
was.
some pictures?
I no, I took mental notes. I took mental notes. Like I was just like putting notes in my thing, like, okay, buy this, buy this. And you know what's so crazy? I have a label maker for stuff like that. I just need to learn how to use it.
I bought a label maker for my light switches in my house because I have so many and I don't it'd be like 6 of them on the panel. So I got a label maker so I can know which one is
That's
which.
smart though. That's smart. I ain't gonna
And you
lie.
be hitting like 5 light switches like, dang, what's the patio light?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to move on up. I'm trying to get, but I'm glad that I do have a union voucher, and I did 2 days on that set, so I get 2 union days. I need 30 to join the union, so that's two, and then I get
Okay,
one.
who's tracking it? Is there a
Me. So
person?
so I found out how to do it. You have to get a right to work letter basically from the producer of the project, and they send it saying, hey, he did work this project, he da 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 da, this is what he did, well, whatever. And that's gonna serve because you're supposed to have like your call sheets, but sometimes they said the people are assholes and you don't know what they're gonna ask for. You need to have your call sheets, and you need to have your letters. You gotta have, I think, 3 recommendation letters. I got that. um and then you have to pay the fee.
We'll take it. It's tax write offable. Now that's what's up though. Well, we're almost to the finish
I'm
line,
if
right?
it,
28 more days.
once I get cleared, if I ain't got the money, I'm putting up a GoFundMe. I don't care because I think it's $4,000 to join.
Yeah. Well, you
So
know what
I'm
I'm gonna
like,
say you can
ugh,
do. Can you pay with credit card? Get you one of them good credit cards. Got a nice introductory bonus. Swipe it for that. Get them points, and then pay yourself back with the points.
I'll think about it. Your credit do something different than mine, so I don't know.
Well, it got okay, sure. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up. All right, y'all. I don't know what this episode was about.
Everything. It's
Every,
gonna be called Mumbo Jumbo.
the mumbo jump. Boom. There we go. All right. Holla at your girl
Holla at your twirl.
and your swirl and your bro and your earl.
Mm.
I ain't never
And
gonna
that
try to
you can
say.
know.
Ah,
And let's talk
bye.
about how you can't do shit for a bitch.
Shout out to Kristen.
Bye.
Bye.